Well, I wonder if that means we're up and live here. Yo, chat, if you can hear us, let us know so we can start talking again.
Sounds like it.
Champ, let's get this underway. Alrighty, so we got some stuff. I mean, this is some good stuff we picked up. Boots, flute,
yeah.
We've got some swords. I like it.
We just need a lamp and we'll have our Aga care package and everything. I'm sure chat wants to see that.
Yeah, right? I mean, you know, it's a possibility at this point. We haven't seen any of the other Dark World items, so getting a lamp would really kind of set us towards the Aga trajectory there.
Now, my question based on what Daaanty just found is that Book of Medora still readable if he found it underwater? Like, do they have waterproof pages?
It's going to be a soggy book otherwise, yeah.
And hey, we have tempered and 2 out of 3 medallions now, thanks to Mini Moldorm Cave. This is... I don't want to say it's gonna be a jet seed because that's cursing us, and we just got through Ambrosia where everything looks like a jet seed and then winds up taking 2 hours.
Oh yeah, we're getting a lot of things, but you know, it's not really like the building blocks of a seed quite yet, you know? I mean, so it's nice to see stuff, but there's still a little bit of work to go. So hopefully, yeah, I mean, more things keep coming, that'd be great.
Well, we have access to the entire front of desert, so that raises an interesting question, you know, pendant desert, which you can't complete, but between Boots and the book, the game's kind of handing it to you.
It is, yeah. I mean, you know, it's one of those cases where I wouldn't be surprised to see, like, the Moon Pearl hanging out in desert today.
That's entirely possible, or maybe a French vanilla glove even.
Oh, yikes. Thinking about Fake Flipper here in Randomizer mode, a lot more dangerous because you don't know what kind of enemies you might be encountering who could one-shot you, basically.
Yeah, that was impressive, a red guard water walking. See, Link's not the only one who water walks. But what are we going to find under the bridge today? Okay, and you were saying this seed is giving us, you know, nice to have items that aren't really giving us a huge amount of progression. So that nice blue shirt off the hobo is certainly consistent with that.
Yeah, man, definitely. I mean, I wouldn't turn it down. Blue mail's nice.
There was also a bush growing in Lake Hylia, so interesting rules for Hylian flora today.
Yeah, no kidding. Alrighty, bunch of junk in the waterfall cave there, and Daaanty isn't even going to entertain the option of looking at what's over in the Zora area there. Good call, I think. You know, just cut your losses and maybe head back there once you've got the money for Zora. Don't tempt yourself by looking at just one item there.
Yeah, because if you leave 2 items there, you have more motivation to go back. If you orphan 1 item, you could really be in trouble if it's important.
Yeah.
So what does the Desert Sage have? Oh, and since you probably didn't hear our introductions, I'm Drosy. He's Sabotender. Nice to be calming for you today.
Yeah, we're here having a good time. Alrighty, so what's Dan? He's checking out the boots location here. This makes sense.
Well, we've had so little health so far this seed, but full heart container's nice. So that flute is also our Death Mountain access, but we only have one check in logic up there right now.
Yeah, not a lot of incentive to head up to the mountain quite yet. I can see why our runners are putting it off, even though there is something up there that we can get.
I'm a little bit surprised that Daaanty went to the desert area and didn't actually go into desert.
That is a little surprising. You'd think, yeah, there's possibly stuff in there, and you're right there. Just give it a go. Oh, Bombo's hanging out on the ledge there, so that's our third medallion.
Yeah, and Phleck wisely waiting until he has Zora money to come back to claim it.
Alrighty, Daaanty doing those desert checks now. So I guess when you got the flute, it's not a huge time loss to just check, the one location, the Agina's cave there, and save quit, and then flute again. So I could see what he was thinking there.
Since I missed a little bit while we were having those technical difficulties, we haven't seen Sahasrah's closet yet, have we?
No, neither runner has head over that way yet.
Ooh, the small key on the torch in desert. So we don't actually know whether the boots are important yet or not.
Yikes, these enemies are not making it easy to get around the desert palace here.
Hey, I was requesting a French vanilla glove, but pure vanilla glove, sure, why not? Ooh, I don't think that death was intentional on Daanty's part.
No, just puts him back a little bit, though, but yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I saw a death to an anti-fairy.
Yeah, right? All right, so there should be one more item left in desert, and that's it right there. So we just got dungeon items left.
So we didn't actually need those boots. They were a little bit of a red herring.
Alrighty, so Daaanty, going to the most dense location that we have left is the eastern area here, Eastern Palace, as well as Sahasrah's hut.
And this might give us some clarity on what the game's expecting us to do. Wow!
Yeah, what the heck?
Sahasrah's like an organ collector, clearly. 3 different pieces of heart in his closet.
Yeah, we got some questions for that guy. Alrighty, Phleck choosing to go for Back of Escape here. This is something we haven't seen yet either. So this room is always a lot of fun in Randomizer. And when I say fun, it can be an absolute horror show.
Oh, so I guess the glove was pointing us to the Back of Escape.
Yeah, that's a pretty good find. That gets us East Death Mountain now.
Yeah, with its 8 checks, which is a lot more than the 2 or 3 items Daaanty will be... I guess it's 3, it's Randomizer, right? So, apart from, lamp and fire rod logic, Eastern is full clearable, so Daaanty will be able to get 3 items out of here. Oh, and Phleck decided not to bother with the old man.
You could hear Lionel's in there. You're like, nah, it's not worth the risk.
Yeah, the thing about Randomizer is you can really get stuck in the dark there, and once you've rescued the old man, once you've gotten the old man there, if you die, you respawn in that cave, and you will keep respawning in that cave until you get him to his home.
Alright, so far Daaanty not finding too much in Eastern Palace. Still a couple of chests left to check though, so we'll see if it turns up with anything. Meanwhile, Phleck has given us some nice checks here on the east side.
Hey, I kind of like this progression of the logic, you know. The book pointed us to desert, the glove pointed us to back of escape, the hook shot pointed and flute pointed us to East Death Mountain, and now the hammer will probably, I don't know, get us a vanilla moon pearl.
Yeah, it's a nice little chain of logic here. It's the kind of chain of items that you like to see as a runner. Like you're steadily going to new places, finding new thing, getting a chance to go do something else.
So what are we going to see in the Eastern Big Chest? I didn't actually catch how many items Daanty's already found.
Oh, I think that might be the third one. I know I saw some bombs earlier, so that might be the final item there, but it could be the second item? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure myself.
But Eastern's a 5/6 crystal, so there's no reason to not clear it and never have to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a cool ether strat in that dark room.
Yeah,
don't see that too often.
Pretty good call, you know, because when you don't know what you're facing, you know, that kind of group attack there, the field effect there, good idea to kind of clear the room possibly. Oh, and also, seeing as we kind of missed the intro segment of the race here, just wanted to give a shout out to our tracker today, Lumaga83 there in the chat. You see them clicking those buttons behind the scenes. Make sure to show our tracker some love today.
And a shout out to Seven-Eyed Moldorm. That is really freaky.
Yeah, no kidding.
For those of you who aren't familiar with full boss shuffle, every boss will appear at least once, and 3 randomly chosen bosses will appear twice. But Moldorm gets the same number of eyes, so if Moldorm is one of the ones that appears twice, the other one also has 7 eyes. Phleck didn't quite get the Harapot there, and he's not gonna do a second try. But Daanty's now following the chain of progression that the game has wanted our runners to go on, so he'll probably be up Death Mountain shortly.
Yeah, not too far behind, really. And with the, you know, Eastern Palace clear in hand, that's that could be good for him to have in his pocket. The thing about Randomizer is how like subtly it changes how you complete each room. You're so used through muscle memory to account for certain enemy types being in a room, and when it's not the case, when you've got little mini Helmosaurs and Moldorms running around in place of enemies that you
Oof.
It throws you off. It's a subtle little thing, but it really throws you off.
Yeah, you talk about that right as Phleck gets thrown off. And all for a lousy map. Now, the interesting thing about the Moldorm Arena at the top of Tower of Hera is of the 10 bosses in the game, only 5 of them are allowed to appear here because the other 5 just have movements that aren't consistent with the large arena.
Yeah, good point. It is kind of a hard arena to fit every enemy in. Yikes, Vitreous. That's a little scary.
He's a bit less scary without that damaging goo that he usually sits on, though.
This is true. This is a case of just taking it like really slow and steady, and you should be okay.
Tempered Sword certainly helps a lot.
Ooh, that was really close.
I was a little bit surprised he didn't do his spin attacks closer to the giant eyeball, because if you can hit the giant eyeball from the side while it's shooting its lightning downward, you can actually damage it and not take damage yourself.
There we go. Nicely done by Phleck there. You only got a heart and a half against Vitreous. It's I could definitely feel like the tension there, the nervousness. It's a scary fight. You don't want to, it's not much time to get back up to the top of the tower, but you don't want to take a death this early.
And it looks like Phleck is going. No. He was thinking about Hera Basement, then he realized he had no fire source.
Yes, that's right. We are missing that.
But hey, it makes the decision easy. You don't have to deliberate about, do I want to do Hera Basement? Ooh, Daaanty trying for the bootstraps to do Hera Pot Clip and eventually makes it. It's a good thing he didn't have that key, because if you have the key and you've unlocked that door, you can accidentally run down the stairs while trying to do that.
Oh yeah, right. You could. This is a pretty brutal spiral cave here.
There's the Moon Pearl.
Alrighty, so we got some Dark World access.
We do indeed, and I know Lumberjack was checked. I don't recall it being anything important, so I guess no AGA 1 today.
Yeah, I think we're off the hook for that one, which is nice.
Chat reminding us that Lumberjack is a bottle, so theoretically, Sick Kid could still have something and the other 3 bottles could be locked away somewhere.
Oh boy. Wouldn't that be something?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't think I ever have either.
Yeah, so Daaanty, notice, is using the strats of doing his attacks near the giant eyeball and getting a few hits on it before it breaks loose, so that once it breaks loose, he's got it.
Huh. Well thought out. So instead of racing into the Dark World, Phleck is choosing to head to Eastern Palace here. Probably like okay. There's no real penalty to doing this. I guess the only thing you could do to save time would be to combo it with Pod potentially once you get the mirror. But you know, maybe something else is still here hanging around in Eastern Palace. So before you start your Light World adventure or Dark World adventure, clear out everything you possibly can.
Yeah, I can't really argue with this. Now, Daaanty will probably go check out the Dark World. No, he's turning in that green pendant first, just in case.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you've spent the time finishing off Tower of Hera. Just, you know, close the circle on this one and just be done with it.
And Saha's just like, you know, if you didn't find enough pieces of heart in my closet, here's another one.
Man, that bully there is getting all the business. He's in a good spot to just swipe everything from our runners every single time.
Though, one thing about this Randomizer mode is that thieves can be defeated.
Yes.
Ooh, map check. We have our final pendant in Skull Woods and our other 5/6 crystal in Pod.
Alrighty, there's our lamp hanging out in Hype Cave here. And that's about it.
Yeah, I'd give that a 2, maybe a 3 if Fire Rod's late and we actually need that for a fire source.
Yeah.
But the large amount of money is also kind of nice. Now we can do Zora whenever. We'll have enough for, you know, the shovel game and chest game and stuff like that.
Yes, indeed. So Daaanty making his way over to Stumpy here and then to the dig game, clearing out this side first before maybe, I don't know if he's going to head over to Pod. He's probably going to actually go for maybe Village of Outcasts next after this. Have to like save quit or something.
Yeah, this is popular routing. Oh, and with this little health, Daaanty actually wanted that piece of heart. No, it's popular routing when you first get your Dark World access, assuming it's by a hammer and 1 glove upgrade. You know, go do Hype Cave, work west, and then save and quit.
Yeah.
So, Pendant Skull Woods is always an interesting question. Supposedly, Skull Woods is more likely to contain a progression item than just about any other dungeon.
Well, hopefully not today for Phleck, seeing as they are Team Skullwood's Big Skip. They're probably planning on skipping it.
Looks like Daanty's laying off it for the time being, too.
Feels like there's enough other stuff that you could do that you're like, okay, leaving Skullwoods for now.
And with the hammer, you know you can full clear Thieves' Town, and that's at least a crystal, so Daaanty will probably do that while he's here. And one thing about Randomizer is You can just march right into Blind's room if you want. That is the boss room, not Blind's cell.
And one thing about Thieves Town that I always find with Randomizer is you don't realize how many enemies there actually are in this dungeon, and then when they're kind of flipped around, that you're just like constantly being swarmed by stuff, it feels like, in this dungeon.
But we haven't actually seen any items yet. Was that the Ophir in the front? Does that mean all 4 items are in the back?
It could be. I didn't see anything, so yeah. Ugh. Ooh, a hand. Oh my goodness. Little Wallmaster surprise there.
Yeah, the interesting thing about Wallmasters is they always seem to pop up in the rooms where they would pop up in vanilla, and then additionally they pop up in other rooms. And that Hellway is just not pleasant with those enemies.
No, the Hellway's pretty gross. This room that Daanty's in right now is pretty gross. Like, it's awful. This dungeon just gets so much worse with Randomizer.
And who doesn't like to see a red guard in every room? And when I say every room, I do mean every room up here.
Yeah.
So Phleck seems to be following in Daanty's footsteps.
Yeah, I think this makes sense, you know, based on what our runners know. This is you know, the safest play, really. I mean, going for pod without the bow, you know, you could get lucky and find something pretty good that leads to more stuff, but safe money is to do the Thieves Town play.
Yeah, it's the only remaining dungeon that they can full clear. Well, I guess now with the light source they could clear desert, but they already have the 2 items and it's a pendant. Oh no! Oh no! I guess
Wow.
Desert will be cleared!
Yikes. You know, that's really good info for Phleck. The mirror is such a key item in a lot of ways that, you know, having that knowledge, he knows he's got to find the fire rod, and then that's about it. He's probably going to blitz those pendants if he can, so it gives him something to do very clearly. Like, he knows what he needs to do.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly, with that fire source now, gonna go finish off whatever is in Lanmo room. Unless it's something he can't finish off with what he has.
Yikes, that'd be rough.
I mean, somewhere in this game there's a Cold Stare, and somewhere in this game there's a Trinex.
Yeah, this is true.
Though if it's Cold Stare, that gives him a reason to go back to Zora and see what's on Zora now.
Yeah. Alrighty, Daaanty takes care of the Helmosaur King, who was hanging out in Thieves Town today. Boy, I don't think we found anything of use in Thieves Town.
Nope, but a crystal's a crystal. And I mean, I guess an Randomizer, it does take a bit longer to full clear Thieves Town than to go mode it, so I also don't think Phleck's gonna be in go mode when he does Thieves Town.
No.
Okay, now Aga's dead, now that we know that we have access to another bottle. Chat commenting on the irony that, you know, Phleck will get his third pendant out of Skull Woods, but he can't just mirror to pet at that point.
Oh, that's so mean.
Here's our other seven-eyed Moldorm. While I was watching Moldorm, I did not see what was on Bumper Ledge, though, did you?
I did not see it either. I have to assume it's nothing because chat didn't blow up with like, oh, look, what's on Bumper Ledge? So I think we're good. It was probably trash. Everyone was watching Moldorm.
I mean, those seven eyes are kind of transfixing, let's be honest. So see, here's the injustice, because as I was saying, this is a vanilla wall master room, and there's still wall masters in there, but Randomizer also puts in wall masters in other rooms. It never seems to take them away.
Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty.
Well,
arrows.
Yeah. One junk item in Skull Woods. And we have two more checks that we can do in the front without the fire rod. Oh, wow, that was a nice hookshot play through those spike tiles.
Yeah, that was. So it looks like the second item might be in the back of Skull Woods, which we can't access right now.
So where to now?
Looks like Daaanty doesn't have much going on this way except to kern jump over to the east side and head for Catfish, I think.
Or water walk.
Yeah, that's cool. You can do that too. Why not?
A lot easier to set up.
Yeah, no kidding.
That BMOS face.
Yeah, no good. No good.
So what does Catfish have?
Junk, junk, junk. So it looks, I mean, I'm thinking that Pod, I mean, we're down to not too much really on the map here. So Pod's got to be holding on to something, some piece of progression to get us going a little further in the seed here.
Yeah, and with that lamp and the hammer, everything except for the Pod boss is in logic.
Yo, bug net from the kid. That's fantastic. Another vanilla item.
Hey, and now with that lamp, Daaanty is going to rescue the old man, so we'll see what he has on him. And that tempered sword is nice for getting past those Lionels, which we can now see.
Huh, just a piece of heart.
So yeah, looks like your guess of pod being progression, I mean, I can't see where else progression would be at this point. Oh, Zora, right. We never did see what Zora had. And did we see Pyramid Ledge?
Could be some. Oh, I don't think we saw that. But I mean, at this point, yeah, after you've done a couple of kind of one-offs that are kind of out of the way, the play now is to go back to Den City. So Daanty's making a good move here.
Chat also reminding us there are 3 chests in the front of Escape and 1 in Dark Cross that we also haven't seen.
Ooh, those feel like kind of forgotten spots, or at least our runners are both willing to let those be last locations for them.
I have to keep reminding myself, pod is not bow-locked, there are not mimics in that room.
Oh, I keep thinking that. The bow-locked side, the bow-locked side. It's not.
Oh yeah, we now have access to Hera Basement too. Thanks, chat. Ooh, Daaanty doing the hover there. Is he gonna get it? Really close. Wow, nice. That is one of the toughest hovers in the game.
It really is, yeah. Well, pair of small keys is his reward.
He can do the tough hover, but he didn't set up the bonk right. Meanwhile, Phleck just got wall mastered.
Bummer, man. Dude got.
That's gonna eat up some time for him too.
Yeah, because he's working on the back half of the dungeon here. He's already taken out the boss, but he's wanting to clear out the rest of it. Definitely puts you behind a little bit.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and hit the switch again. Oof.
Yeah, really, tough spot to be in. And you know what? I was actually thinking maybe you just nope out and, move on to your next task and hope that nothing is in the basement of Thieves Town.
And luckily for Phleck, nothing is in the basement of Thieves Town. Hey, get a load of bumper ledge there.
Yo, 10 arrows, that's hot.
Ooh, there's the Cane of Samaria in Pod Basement. Won't get us anything immediately, but certainly nice to have. We are certainly going to need it with Mire and T-Rock both being crystals.
Yes, indeed.
It also opens up a couple of glitches that were just legalized. Ooh, and there are the mitts, so Daaanty doing his team name well.
Yeah. So, looks like, I don't know, Myers on the table now, so assuming it's not Bombos to get in. And Dark Death Mountain, so a couple of good options.
Yeah, I'd probably... Myers the faster check first. But
Yeah,
either of
I
them
like it, I think.
Either of them are perfectly reasonable plays right now.
Yeah, I feel like I would go to Meyer first, hoping to get, like, I don't know, at least the Fire Rod, so that if I'm going to go into, like, Turtle Rock, once I go up to Dark Death Mountain, I can at least get somewhere in the dungeon. Or at least I feel better about my chances of getting deeper into the dungeon.
I mean, since Trinex isn't necessarily there, you know, they're potentially only a Fire Rod away from... Well, depending on the key layout, there's the very low but non-zero chance that Turtle Rock could be completely finished without the Fire Rod.
That is true.
I did not catch what was on Pyramid Ledge, but I'm assuming it was nothing since Phleck didn't bother getting it.
I think it was just another batch of sticks.
You've been seeing a lot of those.
Yeah, no kidding.
Daaanty, meanwhile, got the piece of heart for a heart refill in King's Tomb. Oh, and I guess he never checked Lumberjack. Yeah, Phleck has to be careful. You don't want Kiki to run off or you have to re-bribe him. Ooh, and Daaanty is doing that ped check, so Phleck's gonna lose the one advantage he's had.
This is, I don't know, it feels like an interesting, like, cautious play on Dante's part when you've just been given the Titan's mitts.
Sorry, I liked that double take there.
Yeah. You've just been given the Titan's mitts, which give you access to, a number of other checks. One of your first instincts is to go for the ped there, just to make sure. It's pretty alert thinking there, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting. I would say interesting.
Well, it makes sense, if he's only now checking Lumberjack. I don't think he would have made a trip up there just for ped.
Yeah.
Ooh, Phleck getting a bit clobbered by that Chain Chomp and Crystal Roller combination. But this is the play Phleck needs to be making, and the question is, what will each of our runners do next?
Yeah, this isn't going to take Daaanty too long, so I think it looks like he might just be a smidge ahead at this time, given what we've all, the runners have basically checked the same stuff. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I would do the Meyer thing first, but, Dark Death Mountain is also calling out, so either or. We'll soon find out what they're thinking.
I think Meyer makes more sense first, because if you don't find anything in Meyer, then you do Dark Death Mountain, and if you still haven't found anything, then you can spend that time to do Hera Basement and Spike Cave.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a pretty solid plan.
Other than, well, no mirrors, so you can't just do Hera Basement after Dark Death Mountain without a save and quit.
Yeah. Just gotta take the hit from that roller there. There's no avoiding it.
Okay, so Daanty's going to show us the Meyer area.
Yeah, we've also got Shed to check, so...
Well,
let's see what the medallion was
Vanilla
there,
Ether for the Meyer entrance.
Ah, okay. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Especially because that is just a key for a key in the what is normally the harmless hellway, but today doing a lot of harm.
But he did get his Samaria out of the basement, yes?
Yes, he did collect that, but he's still got to do the maze here.
Let's see if he can pull the hammer yump. Nice.
Pausing for a moment there before realizing that that is everything he can do in that dungeon.
But he got the important items out.
Yes,
so
yes,
now
yes.
what? Join Daaanty and Meyer?
I would. But who knows? Let's see what he's going to do. Ooh!
Yeah,
Going for the mountain.
So we will get to know a bit more than either of the runners.
This is exciting.
Well, that's one junk item in Meyer. And Daaanty has to do this room the slow way, too.
Also going to find out our TR entry requirement here. Also Ether.
So the only reason we'd need that bombos from Zorledge is if we find Cold Stare and still don't have the Fire Rod. Or actually, are the Freezors still vanilla in Ice Palace? Would we still need the Fire Rod to get by them? Or bombos?
I'm pretty sure they are, yes.
Hey, Buttersword.
Alrighty, Hookshot Cave. What do we got here for phleck? Okay, so Spike Cave.
Oof, that hard hat beetle got frozen in just the wrong place. And the bomb isn't even doing anything to it.
Nice, got him.
But still not anything up this way, and there's blind in the Vitreous room.
I like the Samaria kicks here.
Yeah, you can't really go above him because that bit of goo still does damage up there. But blind goes down. Oh, and there's our Fire Rod, so I guess Phleck can full clear Turtle Rock unless it's a vanilla Trinex.
That's pretty handy.
Wait, really? You don't want to just get Turtle Rock out of the way?
Ooh. Yikes. You know what? That feels like one of those moments where you have just for a split second forgotten that this is Randomizer and Trinex isn't necessarily going to be at the end there. I don't know. I see chat throwing up the idea that you don't want to skip on Mimic Cave. I don't know. I'd probably skip Mimic Cave.
Well, here goes Phleck to get that third pendant, and then he'll probably save and quit to get the mirror so that he won't have to keep saving and quitting.
I mean, it was, you know, the first chest into the dungeon. So, you know, got to get that mirror. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it, really.
Interesting that Phleck's doing all this, because with access to the back, I would think you'd want to just go to the back first.
Yeah, you would think that might be the way to go.
Now, the funny thing is, I was talking with Daaanty beforehand, and he said he was going to open every chest in Skullwoods, but here's Phleck opening every chest in Skullwood.
Yeah. Oh, I see. He was waiting for a ride there. Going to the wrong place, though.
Yeah, that didn't seem the most efficient use. He could have just run out much faster.
It's okay. It's okay. We're still on track. Oh my God, Daaanty did the exact same thing.
Make sure to take care of the hard hat beetle early that time. Okay, Phleck, please don't go back for the big chest. Just finish off the boss first. Okay. And we're actually safe here, too, because we know that Trinex can't be in Mothula's room. Just with the spikes around the edges, the logic doesn't allow Trinex to appear there.
Right, yeah.
Oh, Daanty's also noping out of TR.
You know, there's got to be some big brain reason going on here that I'm just not kind of a fan of. I don't know.
Well, it did just occur to me. We will have to beat Trinex at some point because this is an all dungeons seed by virtue of being a PED seed.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. It just like that mountain climb is minutes. You know, it's a a minute 30, 2 minutes of time. Like, I don't know. I'm already up there. Like, I would orphan Mimic Cave and be like, who cares? Is it possible you lose the race because of that? Sure. But you can lose the race in a million different places. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's... From Daanty's perspective, since he knows that Trinex can't be in Skullwoods either, there's a 25% chance now of a vanilla Trinex, and I could kind of see not wanting to risk that 25%.
There's a 75% chance then that it's not. You know, I mean, that's way better odds.
Also true. And here's...
I mean, this gives like a clear, you know, I mean, I see what they're doing. They're saving Turtle Rock for last. You can go with that. You can get that mirror. I don't know. I guess like and the thing is, like, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that the flippers are deeper in Turtle Rock, and they've missed the flippers.
The ice rod could even be in Turtle Rock. It seems to show up there a lot.
I mean, because technically, Ice Palace and Swamp Palace, they've got that mirror now, but both of those dungeons are still out of logic. You know. I don't know. I have questions on this one.
Yeah, and the newly allowed diver down glitch still won't get you through that first room in Swamp Palace without the flippers.
Alrighty, so both runners are on their way to pick up their mirror hanging out on the pedestal there. Daanty's looking like he's in pretty good shape. He's got that mire clear already taken care of. Alrighty, so here we are. An hour and 5 minutes in, we're gonna be picking up our mirror here.
What all of you have been waiting for. Phleck not happy.
So now that you've got this item, what are you gonna do with it first, you know? Like, are they going right back to Turtle Rock?
Oh, interesting. Phleck's doing Mire area, and he'll be able to check Checkerboard Cave.
Yeah, that's not a bad play. It's a spot that Daaanty is not going to be too happy to have to revisit if it comes to it.
Well, this is Phleck's big chance to regain his advantage.
Hey, if there's something there, then that's pretty good.
We still need Flipper's Bow and Ice Rod, so even more than an hour in, we're still 3 items from go mode.
Okay, Daaanty flutes to 6, but is not going to be going through with that play. Gonna do Smith Chain, it looks like, instead. That's a good use of the mirror. I approve of that.
Yeah, that's a number of checks. Oh no, he turned in the mushroom. He can't fake powder. But he still has Hammer Peg, Smith, Purple Chest, K45, and Bombos. So that's 5 checks out all this.
Oh God, fighting the enemies to get through to the different hammer pegs there. That's always fun.
Yeah, with a Beamos in the middle.
Yeah. Rude. Alright, this is some new stuff on Daanty's side here. So what are the blacksmiths going to be holding today? Alright. Nothing too good there.
Hey, double your money, right?
In this economy, that's great.
Speaking of which, we never did see Zora.
Still no, yeah.
Though we now know that Bombos won't be needed.
Yes, we're in the clear on that one.
I thought Daaanty turned in the mushroom. Did he hard reset? Oh, he still has the mushroom. I guess he must have hard reset.
Okay, piece of heart.
Oh, Daaanty is not going to do K45 and Bombos. Interesting, considering we did just get that mirror.
Oh, looks like he might be doing it now.
Also interesting, is it faster to take 2 trips into save and, well, not a save and quit, he had the flute, but is it faster to take 2 trips running than 1 trip walking?
Yeah, like I actually don't know. I don't think I've timed that out ever, so I don't know. Let's go for Bombo's tablet first here.
After thinking about K45 and changing his mind.
Okay, what do we got on the tablet?
Oh boy. Well, I hope Phleck goes there soon.
He's probably going to need that.
The question the jury's still out on is, which dungeon will he need that in? Actually, I realize Trinex might not be required. There's a very outside chance. If there's one Trinex in the game and he's in Vanilla Ice Armos room, and the big key is not behind Ice Armos room, then it could be the case that the Ice Rod isn't needed, but that's a very low probability.
Yeah, now that does seem like a pretty low chance of that happening, but you know, it is on the table, I guess, at this point. Alrighty, Phleck employing the same kind of strategies, but it looks like Blind has popped down to the bottom of the screen here, so he'll be able to get some swings in instead. Yeah, you've got the potion, might as well use it. You don't want to take a death at the bottom of this dungeon.
And he gets blind there. So we're caught up in the crystal count now.
Yeah. Daaanty has taken on a couple more checks along the way here. Phleck needs to kind of cut a couple of corners, I think, to kind of get right on par with him. But still, you know, there's a lot of game to be played here.
Phleck's gonna restock his potions. That makes sense. So maybe he's thinking going back to Turtle Rock too.
I mean, I think it's a good bet.
No, Ice Palace.
Like, what are we trying to get at here? Like, the bow? But like, I mean, the thing is with this, with Swamp Palace being a crystal, like you need the flippers, and they're not going to be in here.
Right. Now, Phleck doesn't know that the Ice Rod isn't here, but yes, the only progression we know he could find here is the bow.
Right.
I love that Randomizer includes the fake Master Sword as an enemy.
Yeah, right? Jeez, that room takes a while. It makes you wish for the Pengators almost.
Ooh, so sacrificing a bomb to that picket just to flip the switch.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, will Phleck go for the newly allowed icebreaker glitch?
Looks like he's not going for it, given that he's already heading down this way.
Oh, are we already a level past it?
Yeah, it's right in the onset, basically, of the dungeon.
Just going for the classic old bomb jump, which he gets.
What does Mimic Cave have today? See, you could have skipped that.
Yeah, I'm missing those pen gators right now.
Right? Small key off the start in Ice Palace is nice. It gets you over to this right side, pretty quickly. Alrighty, Daaanty making his way down to Laser Bridge next. Wow, that anti-fairy was bullying Phleck there pretty hard.
Yeah, and that right side was just dungeon items. So what do we think's going to be on Laser Bridge today? Could it be like the bow or the flippers?
It's probably going to be flippers. Ice Palace, a bunch of disappointing junk so far.
Wow, Laser Bridge just a bunch of junk.
That's really surprising.
Yeah, Laser Bridge is basically the room of requirement in a lot of seeds, so that it didn't have anything is kind of weird. Ooh, watch your health, Phleck. Watch your health, Daaanty, too, though I guess they both have bottles.
Definitely one of those things when it comes to Randomizer is like the little chippy damage that you get. You take a couple more hits from enemies along your way. Alright, so we've got Argus here in the Trinex spot.
So who haven't we seen at this point? Trinex, Mothula, and Landmos, right?
Yes.
Okay, you were right about the flippers.
See? Easy game, guys.
Only an Randomizer can Argus drop the flippers.
Yeah, right? So Daaanty is still doing pretty good. So, I mean, like the bow is going to be in Swamp Palace here. As long as kind of he stays the course, he's in pretty good shape.
Ooh, we're getting a look at Spike Cave.
No! Oh, God.
Oh, no.
That is the worst.
Well, now we know where Trinex is.
That's our boy.
A nice spin speed for Daaanty coming through there.
So I mean, I guess the good thing for Phleck, I mean, there's not a lot of upside when you find, oh, he's fluting away. I was gonna say, you know, it's a pretty safe bet to go for TR. He's getting another potion. Okay.
Well, we've only seen Moldorm twice. We don't know what other bosses will appear twice.
This is true. I feel a little better about doing the TR play now, having already seen Trinex.
Yeah, it's certainly a lot less likely that he's in TR.
Yeah.
From Phleck's perspective. Oh, he never did get the old man. And Daanty's going into Ice Palace, you know, with the ice rod and with the flippers. And I'm guessing he's going to do Icebreaker. It really does save a lot of time if you're full clearing.
Yeah, it would definitely work out. Feels like a new piece of tech that I'm gonna have to pick up. But I'm just so lazy.
Well, I've been hearing a lot of people who have suddenly had to learn it since it got legalized 2 days ago, saying that it was a lot easier to pick up than they expected.
Oh, that's good. That gives me hope.
Wow, double ether use there. That's pretty cool.
All right, I'm gonna be watching this closely here.
Ah. I was
Okay.
gonna say he's having a bit of trouble. Yeah, it's a door glitch. But it saves so much time that even if you're full clearing, that even if it takes you a few tries like that, he's still saving quite a bit. If you're go-moding, it saves you a few seconds, but probably not worth doing if you can't get it the first try.
Right. Oh, wow. See, that's one of those little like muscle memory things. You assume that rollers are going to be in this room that Phleck's in right now. So you put on that cane of burner just instinctively.
It was so automatic I didn't even think about that. Oh yeah, he doesn't need that.
That is definitely one of those rooms where I will let that slip for sure.
Hey, and I hear you've got a match tomorrow.
I do, yeah. It's me and Dataplet. Should be fun. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so to address chat, Diver Down basically lets you walk and run underwater, so it can save a huge amount of time in left side swamp because you can flood the key and still get it.
That is pretty handy. Alrighty, Daaanty, just about to head down to Trinex. Gonna feel pretty good about that Bombos tablet play.
Though the shape of the room does not allow for the zero cycle.
Oh yeah, no, he's really kind of cramped up against the top there.
Ooh,
What's the shuffle? Oh God.
Yeah, and the thing is, now that we're in bow mode, all we know is that at least one of the two progressive bows is somewhere that isn't on Pod Boss and it isn't in GT. And isn't
Right.
in Pyramid Fairy.
So Daaanty heading for Swamp Palace. This is likely where one of those bows is going to be. I have a pretty solid feeling that's where we're going to find one. There are
And
definitely some outlier locations that haven't been checked by either runner.
Well, if Daaanty doesn't find one in Swamp, he's in a really good position to check Shovel and Cave 45 immediately afterwards.
Mm-hmm. You know, and I really hate that Randomizer will stick one of those giant spikes on a little tiny bridge that you cannot get past any other way. You're just going to have to take the hit.
It's kind of like doing full right in GT.
Yeah. Alrighty, so Phleck's cleared out the empty laser bridge there. Gonna head for, who was it? It was Argus hanging out there in the Trinex spot. So I imagine that Daaanty is going to go to the back first and then only do left side if he absolutely has to.
I don't know. I guess left side, even with Diver down, still takes a bit of time. But we'll see.
Alrighty, he's going for the back. And Phleck takes down Argus, picks up those flippers.
Ooh, he's gonna do Diver down in this room. Which is a bit tough with that Fire Snake in the way.
Yeah, he's really pulling some interference there.
And now that we've seen both dungeon item, well, the map and the compass, still depends on the big key, but there are going to be at least 2 items left to get, and maybe 3 if Argus drops the big key.
Yes, indeed. So heading back into the dungeon is likely at this point, assuming the bow does not turn up on the Armos Knights here.
Yes, did I say Argus? I meant Armos. Argus, Armos,
Yeah,
you know.
close enough. Kane O'Brien is pretty good here to kind of gather up all of the Armos Knights and quickly take care of them, all things considered.
So there's our final dungeon item. So yeah, there are 3 items left in Swamp that Daanty's going to have to go back for.
Yeah, there you go. Stepping back into the dungeon.
And for the first time in a while, our runners are in the same dungeon.
Yeah, they have spent a good chunk of this seed apart from one another.
The huge difference between them is that Daaanty got that ice rod off of Bombo's tablet, and phleck has not yet, and he's going to need it to finish ice.
Yeah, that's kind of the big difference. That definitely the game changer of this one here. It's in such a rough spot that you know, with phleck not even considering Smith Chain at all. Yeah, he's kind of reserved to that just being like a last location kind of situation.
Oh yeah, so I realized because Daaanty went back in for left side, he can't. Well, he could do diver down, but it won't have any use.
Okay.
Because it's only really useful on the left side if you do it the first time through and you've stolen the key from the chest on the right side of this big room that's only accessible by hookshot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because otherwise you have to go get the key out of here first before you can press the lever. Nice swag hookshot strats there. I've seen that a few times before, but you don't see it very often because if you miss it, you have to reset the room.
Whoa, was that a wall master there at the last second? Yikes.
Yeah, I was afraid when the screen kind of paused on black that it had somehow gotten him.
Wow, this is surprising. I thought that the bow was going to be here for sure. So, front of escape. Oh, wow. Interesting enemy popped up there. Yeah, we've got some not fun locations left for this to be.
And Daaanty just orphaned K45.
Did he go back and get it? I feel like he did it.
Oh, I might have been looking on phleck's side then.
Ooh, Zora. Yeah, this is time to do Zora, I guess, you know. You put it off this long.
Yeah, if Zora has the bow, it's like, hello, Sphere 2 check that we could have had an hour ago.
Yeah, it's gonna feel. And any of these, with the exception of Graveyard Ledge, any of the checks that are still left on the map are gonna feel pretty bad for both runners once they find this thing.
Oh yeah, and chat reminding us they still haven't done front of escape.
Yeah, right?
Like, if it winds up being in Hera Basement, I wouldn't feel too bad. If it winds up being front of escape, I might feel bad.
Yeah, it feels, you know, Tower of Hera is gonna feel bad, but I think when you like, if you think about it, like there wasn't really like a time when you could have been up there later with the fire source to go for it. The way the seed was laid out, you would have been up there before you had the fire source.
So yeah, here's escape. That'll be 4 chests. We have not yet gotten the key, though, so one of them has to contain the key, either this first chest or Dark Cross. It's not that one. So Dark Cross contains a key, so we don't have to go there.
Phleck taking on the Argus
Oh.
Knights. Ooh, there we go.
And at 136.53-ish, Daaanty is in go mode.
Wow. Now
That's the thing about...
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, that's the thing about any sort of open mode, Randomizer or not, that runners often just don't do the front of escape until pretty late in the game.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely one of those things that Daaanty is going to be thinking, wow, Phleck did this ages ago. Why? Alrighty, so Phleck has to go back in for the big chest. You can't leave anything behind at this point. So this makes sense.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, given how Daaanty did things, if he had gotten that bow out of escape early, he would have had go mode swamp and ice.
Yeah. And then you start looking at the, the time that you've reached go mode there. Here he is now sitting at, an hour 38. He's got to finish this dungeon, get all the way up to GT. He's like, oh, I'm looking at about like a 150. Is that going to be fast enough to get through this? Phleck just trying to get a break from those guards there.
And Phleck will be in bow mode shortly, so then the question is, when's he gonna go back to escape? But honestly, unless something weird happens, I don't see him catching up at this point.
Yeah, sadly, it doesn't look good for Phleck right now.
Rando gonna rando.
Yes, very true. So finishing Ice Palace, makes sense. You're trying to figure out, what your next step is going to be here. You can finish Trinex now at the basement, in the basement there. So this gives you time to kind of figure out where your other remaining locations are.
Yeah. I'm just thinking it's unfortunate because, yes, Daanty's executed better overall, but race and came down more to routing choice than anything else.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so we got a second Helmosaur here. We saw the first one in Thieves Town.
We also have a 7th crystal incoming, and you know what that means.
Oh, do I? That means we're heading to GT, I think.
Yeah, and there's a little game we like to play that I think you have an in on. It always feels like you have an in on it.
I swear I don't. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to get the old bot going there. Put your numbers in the chat. We're heading up to Ganon's Tower, and in the basement, we're looking for the big key. Numbers 1 to 22 there to see where we might be finding our big key today. Drosy, buddy, what do you think? Where are we going to find the Ganon's Tower big key today?
I just put in my standard guess of 10 because I don't want to see like tile room after all this. What about you?
Pretty mean, yeah. Let's see. I'm going to go with, I don't know, 16. Let's go a little deeper in. I'm thinking we got to get past whatever is down at the Armos Knights.
So 16 would be...
Oh, I don't know.
Right. That's in that room, assuming we don't get a key and go full right and we don't Dark Magician.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I mean, the routing in GT is just so variable these days that who knows what that number actually means.
Yeah, if we go to Compass Room early, 16 corresponds to Rando Room.
Yes. Oh.
Ooh. Phleck did such a nice job of the bomb jump the first time, and... should have just found that ice rod and not had to double dip.
Got it. There we go. Oh, with his last bomb, too. Whoa, pretty clutch.
Wow. And get your guesses in. We are going to be shutting off the game momentarily.
Alrighty, Daaanty checking out Hope Room first here. Let's see what we got.
Wow.
Cool, the GT Dream.
Wow. So, wait a minute. Isn't Just Fit Daanty's wife? Hmm.
Controversy. Big key guessing game. Alrighty, well, Daanty's making his way up the tower. He's just got to deal with the mixed up enemy sets that he'll encounter in the gauntlet. Hopefully it's not anything too nasty. Usually it's a lot of shadows. They got to put something in there that you can, you know, kill reasonably easy. Oh, we got the Hinox duo there. That's not too bad.
And another Hinox. And what are those, like, tendrily enemies called anyway?
I don't know. I was calling them like ropers. I don't know if that's the name or not.
Seems as good as anything.
I feel like we saw kind of a similar set of enemies show up in a couple of the dungeons earlier in the game as well. There's always like a weird kind of like little patterns that emerge where you see kind of similar sets of enemies popping up.
Chat's telling us popos.
Popo? Hey, here's our moth.
Had to show up sometime. Oh yeah, we still haven't seen Lanmo's, and so Lanmo's must be in Ice Armos room because they can't be in a Moldorm room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with Randomizer, you can't just go through these rooms with a Cane of Samaria like you would in Vanilla.
Alrighty, so Phleck's taking care of this shovel check first. Man, that roller is in an inconvenient place.
Ouch, yeah, really hard to fire rod up there. At this point, Daanty's just gonna wait for that torch to go out. But he gets through.
Back into the Dark World for Phleck. Where is he thinking? Oh, now he's doing parts of Smith Chain.
I just realized it was time for a music change there.
Yeah, right. Oh, another cold stare. How about that?
Well, there are only 3 possibilities because there are only 5 enemies that can show up here, and we've already seen 2 Moldorms and 2 Helmas.
Mm-hmm. That final room can always be a little bit of a nasty one. Looks like the enemies weren't too bad. Sometimes you can even see a wall master in there, and that is the most terrifying feeling.
But here we are on good old vanilla Agate 2 because the randomizer does not touch him. Other than that the seed guarantees the same attack patterns for both runners.
Right. Patterns weren't so good there on that one. A little bit tricky to get some multiple hits in there, but Aga's going down, and Daanty's heading towards the final fight. Looks like Phleck is heading for Spike Cave. You know, front of escape at this point, it's either like it's slipped his mind a little bit here, or it really is, if it's there, I'm done for. So I'm just not going to go there. Alrighty, Daaanty into phase 2 here.
And soon we will find out where those silvers were. Probably GT because we saw almost none of the basement.
Yeah, that would make sense.
No, Light World. Graveyard Ledge?
Oh yeah, could be.
Is there anything else we didn't see in the Light World?
Not that I can think of. All right, just a couple more spins here, and Daanty's gonna be done with this one.
Well, looks like Phleck might be going towards Graveyard Ledge. In which case, we'll see if there's a bow there.
Alrighty, and Daaanty takes down Ganon. That's gonna do it for this one. Put your GGs in the chat for Daaanty. Let's get an official SRL time for him. He's crossing the line at 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 30 seconds.
And let's see if this is... Oh, yep, that was the other bow.
Wow. So hey, it looks like we're joined by the winner of the race. It's Daaanty. How you doing, buddy?
Yo, hey, what's up?
GG's. Give us your, I guess, opening thoughts on that one.
Bo, when it showed up, scared the crap out of me.
Yep.
I was like, I've probably lost, so I was like, no shenanigans, no hovering in GT. Just go, just beat it.
Yeah, no kidding.
And Phleck has, not too surprisingly, forfeited because he just got his go mode a few seconds after you won. So, doesn't really want to get that last crystal. But yeah, you guys both didn't want to do the front of escape.
Yeah, imagine doing front of escape in, you know, in a seed where front of escape is open for a very, very long time. Man, that was. I was like, I really hope it's in Hera basement. I was like, I really hope it's not here because if it is, I'm very far behind. I basically talking with Phleck, I assumed that we both did the same thing and did not check that.
No,
and we are
no doubt.
joined by Phleck. GG's, buddy. Tough run there, unfortunately.
Yeah, a couple things set me back. GG's Daaanty, that was Daaanty, sorry, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, GG.
Yeah, you know what's really interesting is watching it just here unfold before our eyes is that you guys found the two bows in the separate locations there, finding the second bow in Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah, I actually completely spaced and realized that I didn't do escape, and a friend of mine mentioned to me after the fact that, hey, go mode escape. I was like, what are you talking about? I found it on Graveyard Ledge.
So yeah, Phleck, what do you make of that one?
It was fun. It was interesting. Definitely Fire Rod in right side Turtle Rock, or in the first chest in Turtle Rock was kind of a fun find. You always kind of hope that something's there, but...
I was actually curious. I want to ask both of you this. You both quit Turtle Rock once you got that Fire Rod. Why didn't you want to just do it in one shot? Were you afraid of missing Mimic Cave, or did you just think you were too weak to go down, or what?
For me, at least, it was definitely not wanting to skip Mimic Cave, and knowing that the mirror was on the ped.
And
Seems
Daaanty?
fair, yeah.
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Why you quit out of Turtle Rock after getting the Fire Rod rather than just beating it in one go?
Oh, so yeah, about that. I got the Fire Rod and thought, I don't have a key. I should save and quit because I can't do anything. And then I saved and quit. and then I got, when I was fighting Cold Stare in the back of Skull Woods, I went, oh crap, I'm screwed. Like, that had me worried for a good bit. So yeah, I just did it because I was like, oh, I can't do this. I should leave. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I got the one thing I needed to unlock the rest of the dungeon, but it was way later when I realized that, and I think that was why I kind of prioritized going back up the mountain sooner rather than later as far as dungeons go.
It's definitely one of the things that, you know, just it's muscle memory, man. You know, like you think you got to try next at the end of this dungeon. Why the heck am I gonna, you know, go through with the rest of this? I definitely sympathize. I was questioning the play from both of you skipping out on the dungeon, but you know, in the moment when you're racing it, it's very real. You're just like, nah, I'm good here. I can't do anything else, or I should wait until I get the ice rod. So it definitely makes sense.
Like, the idea was, I was justifying it in my head on the way back up, like, okay, well, I can do Mimic Cave now. So maybe the bow's in Mimic Cave, and this is like, you know, a huge play, but, yeah. Just a big happy oops, I guess.
I mean, it worked out because you guys were doing so many of the same things, all told.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys were kind of in step for a lot of it. It wasn't until, I guess, probably the Titansmiths maybe kind of started to see a little bit of deviation from that point on, I think.
Oh, wow.
I think
especially once you guys got the mirror.
Yeah, mirror was a big shakeup for sure.
I think what I need to do going forward is, like, make my tracker larger, because the whole time, escape was just, you know, a green square on, like, the map for Emo Tracker, and I just assumed in my head, like, every time I glanced over it, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do Aga. We checked that. That's garbage. And so the whole time, I just did not register that escape was still there, and then when I was, like, really looking at what do I have left, and then I saw escape, I was like, oh no, this could be very bad.
And Phleck, I guess you just kind of forgot about it as well.
I totally spaced on it. I deviated so far from, like, what I generally do in a seed that I just kind of, like, fell out the back of my head. I used just a item tracker too, so I should really actually use a proper tracker. Probably let me know that, hey, that needs to be done still. But I totally spaced and forgot that it was even a thing that needed doing. I did the back. It was just the going down into Zelda cell.
Yeah, getting a hook shot there really was appealing to just leave the rest. And I think probably the same thing happened to me, happened to you there, which is just like, oh, I got progression. I should follow that. And,
yeah.
At the time, it's like, I'll check the rest later. And then there is no later, really, because you forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, at least the GT Big Key behaved, and after you had to basically clear the entire rest of the world, you could just zoom through Ganon's tower.
Yeah, that was fun, with it being number 1.
Yeah. Good times, good times.
And hey, there it is on the game stats.
So, what have your other teammates already raced this week, or is that still to come for you guys? I don't know, Daaanty, you go first. What's the plan for Titan's Mitts, and then we'll hear what Phleck's got to say about Skullwood's Big Skip.
I just looked at the schedule. I think Sailor Nep is the one playing this week on our team, but I don't think we have anything scheduled yet. I just checked the schedule and didn't see anything, so I'm not sure what time they're trying to work out. But maybe soon, TM.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think they're lining up to play sometime this weekend. It'll be Chimo playing against Sailor Nep.
That is awesome. Looking forward to that one. And will you guys be racing next week? Are you taking a week off, or?
I think Cascade and Chimo are playing next week.
Nice.
But that's kind of changed because one of them was going to travel, and then obviously things have changed with travel right now.
Right.
I think I'm scheduled to play. I'm not 100% sure. It also just kind of depends on my situation. I gotta shout out Phleck for doing this match on Monday, and then we had a backup plan because I'm literally a week away from having my first kid. So I was like, it could be at any point, and I may just have to leave. So yeah, I don't really know what's gonna happen for me next week. So we'll see how that pans out.
Well, Pog Champ, buddy, that's pretty awesome. Well, I don't know, Drosy, if you got any more questions. I think our runners have given us some nice time here. I think I'm all wrapped up.
Yeah, I'm good. I guess we should, plug that, chat might want to follow these runners.
Ooh, yes, they might. Definitely give our runners a follow.
And speaking of such, thanks again also to our tracker Lumaga, who nicely put that in chat. And, this was a long race to track.
Yes, it was.
So yes, tracker is definitely an underrated role that we really rely on it especially with the technical difficulties at the beginning when we were trying to get ourselves properly working on the stream. Lumaga was tracking away so that at least we would know what was found when we finally got up and running. So much appreciated there.
Alrighty, and thanks to my wonderful co-com, Drosy. Buddy, it was so great to be in the booth here with you today. I'm going to give you the final word to send us out of here.
Yeah, well, it's always great working with you as well, Sabo. So thank you all for watching, and we've got a few races coming up that I just want to quickly plug. At 8:40 on SG3, we have Ovidius Nasso versus Kyong. Kyong actually being one of the they weren't actually us last year, but Kyong's team went pretty far in the playoffs, let's put it that way. And at 9:10, we have Drunk Future Self versus Flip Heel on the ALTTPR League 2. So yeah, make sure to check out the Speed Gaming family of channels and the ALTTPR League family of channels for a lot more races. So, thanks again, everyone. Have a great evening.